looking back.
There was a great sense of achievement when we had the union actually happened, and we had the first service. Was it actually 1st September? We had our first service together, and then we had the service of union, the official one, with the moderator coming on the 22nd of September. And after that, there just was a sense, we've done this. God has done this. And that brought joy and satisfaction, I have to say, to me. I think we've shared that, and others as well. Well, I'm Alistair Cook. I'm the minister here in Hawick South Church, the Union of St Mary's and Old Parish Church, Teviot and Roberton Church, and Trinity Church, that was effected on 1st September 2024. And I'll let the others introduce themselves.
I'm Anne Adams. I am one of the joint session clerks at Hawick South Church. Prior to that, I was assistant session clerk at Hawick Trinity.
I'm Gail Nuttall, and I am one of the joint session clerks here at Hawick South. And before the union, I was session clerk at St Mary's and Old Parish Church on my own for the last few years, but before that it was a joint post with someone else.
One aspect was that we had a south grouping here in Hawick of the churches, basically south, broadly south of the Teviot River, plus Roberton out to the west, for about more than 10 years. So we were having joint services and events, and organised a service in the Volunteer Park stand along with the other churches in the town. So we had been doing quite a lot of things together, getting to know each other, and also Hawick is a town where if people don't know each other, they will know someone who knows someone. It is quite a strong community in that way. So that was really behind it. But when we came together to begin the process towards union, we had our 3 representatives from each of the 3 kirk sessions gathering here in this room, with the interim moderator of Trinity and myself as minister of Teviot and Roberton, St Mary's and Old Parish Church, which was a linkage at that point. And we had really good meetings together, which really heartened us that this union was a positive thing. The strong, good spirit we had in those discussions was really good. And more importantly than all of that, prayer undergirded everything from the earliest awareness that this union was going to happen.
It was very important to talk things through, especially when everyone was uncertain of the process and what things we would come up against. So it was important to discuss things within the group. It was also very important to talk to other members who perhaps had concerns and worries and were not maybe perhaps fully in agreement with the union. It was important to talk to these people as well, and it was important for folks to ask the questions, and that this was key, that people were able to ask questions and things were able to be discussed, and instead of burying it away and not asking the question that you wanted, the burning question you wanted an answer to. We didn't always know the answer to the questions, but we did try and find out answers, and often through discussion we would be able to come up with answers to questions as well. And it was just key to talk to each other, and in many different forums, in meetings, and as I say, out with meetings to members, and it gave us a strength because we were able to share our thoughts and our views and our opinions in a very caring way and a very loving way and answer folks' concerns.
Yeah.
Well, we have covered prayer, which is the key, absolute key, the preparation and the talking. But above all, we felt that the people of our congregations were the most important factor in this union. Yes, a lot of people were concerned about their buildings. Buildings have meant a lot to people over a long time, probably some more than others. As it was highlighted at the time, there was some people that had a church connection with the same church through generations of their family. So it seemed right that the buildings were to a certain extent put on hold, but the relationships and forming relationships within the union was the most important factor, much more so than the buildings. That could come later.
I think we need to say that the buildings that we deferred a decision about actually selling, but the buildings that were to be retained and disposed of were agreed by the presbytery plan, so that's quite clear. But we're now at the process of working towards the disposal of buildings progressively and in an unrushed way.
We were very fortunate in as many ways as we'd been linked with TV Church for many years. And through that linkage, we had done services together, we'd held services together, we'd worshipped in this building, and we'd also worshipped in our own building. So in a lot of ways, I think it was never going to be easy, but it was possibly slightly easier for us because we were coming to a place that we already knew, and we were coming with a minister that was already ours, and who we enjoyed fellowship with. So Alistair was still going to be there, and we were coming somewhere that we knew already. So I do think it was perhaps easier for us than it was for Trinity Church coming along, because we've done it. And it was just going to be slightly different this time, but it was much the same in a lot of ways.
Well, it was difficult for a lot of people, and a lot of people found it very hard. From a personal point of view, I was quite weary of having said 6 years without a minister. I mean, yes, we'd had very good interim moderators over the 6 years. Alistair was one of them for a while, and a few of us had during COVID linked into the churches that were recorded in TV, so that you had a familiarity about what to expect. But this weariness, and I think other people felt the same as I did, that we needed something else. I mean, I don't know how much anybody else has experienced having no minister for a long time, but you feel like a ship without a sail. Yes, God is always there, but you need somebody on the ground to lead you, and you need that person to be there 24/7 basically. So it's an absolute joy to find yourself that the situation is so much different.
We have been made so very welcome
Absolutely.
here, and it's never felt anything else except Hawick South. There was much work done before the actual 1st of September service to ensure that we were walking into Hawick South on the 1st of September, and there was a huge amount of work went into that to a new beginning, a new start. And we came in to the TV building, and no one ever said to us, "Oh well, we don't do it that way here." Everything was just accepted, and we did make changes, and we did start afresh. There was much work went into starting afresh, and no one turned to us and said, "Oh well, we don't do it that way."
No, it's like a new start.
It was like a complete new start.
Well, we worship here at Hawick South Church, which is now called it. Just a word there about Teviot and Robertson Church, which of course has Teviot's the host church, if you like, for this union. But we've worked hard as well that this is now restyled. Teviot is now restyled as Hawick South Church, as we're all Hawick South. Hawick South Trinity building continues for the moment, and Hawick South St Mary's building continues, Hawick South Robertson. So Teviot has also sought to undergo the appropriate transformation into this union, and I say people from the Teviot side have been good at welcoming, opening, changing into this new situation. So our worship services are here 10:30 each Sunday morning, and we'll have occasional services a few times a year, 6, 8 maybe, in the other buildings. That's in each of them. So that's the main worship, diet of worship aspect.
You want to say
There's well, I would hope everybody else feels the same, but there's a very warm feeling when you come into this church. I think the fact that fellowship is very, very important, and there's always tea and coffee afterwards, and just it's difficult to put into words, and I can get quite emotional about it, but it's the kindness that's shown. There's so much kindness. I mean, on Sunday it was Father's Day, so all the gentlemen got a wee chocolate bar wrapped up with a lovely little tie on the top with a Bible reading in the back, and I just think that means so much to people. And at Mother's Day it was a beautiful cupcake with lovely icing and things like that. It's the little things, and it just makes people feel special, and it makes people want to be in a place that makes them feel special.
There's quite a buzz about the place on a Sunday morning, because we've got 90 to 100 people as opposed to 30 and 30 or whatever it might be elsewhere in the 3 places.
It was. I mean, this lady in particular. I mean, when she was originally a Trinity member, and when her husband was alive, they sat in the back row at Trinity, and they would come in, they would sit down, would have the service, and they would go away. And then she said, "But it's not like that here. It's just not like that. It's so much more. It's in the fact that we have tea and coffee afterwards. Everybody welcomes you. Oh, hello, so and so. How are you today?" And there's it's the caring element within, which was possibly missing. Possibly it was just a tiredness and a weariness. But definitely that is very much alive in this church.
And that lady finds it a joy to
come. Yeah.
Yeah, there's still work to be done in terms of that fellowship and getting to know each other. Absolutely, that's quite clear. We have a prayer meeting each Thursday. We've got connect groups, which are house groups basically spread through the parish. We'd like to see more people joining in with those. Each group is growing, I would say. A way of deepening, not just getting to know each other, but getting to know God together, connecting with Him and each other. The Guild has been a great success story. Is it how many members?
Between 40 and 50.
And that has worked really well, the 3 guilds coming together, that should be said. There's been great compliments paid to our 2 session clerks here, who have worked very hard along with others to bring this union to fruition and to continue on. God, people to grow spiritually, for there to be a strength and depth in that, in the sense that there's a good number of people coming. There's quite a small number of people, including the elders, carrying quite a lot of loads, and we need to see that, and we're working to see that spread more widely. In terms of ongoing life and sharing in people have signed up, for example, for helping with the 3 shelter housing services we have a month, and care home service we have and that sort of thing, to see ministry multiplied.
Can I just say something that happened well, I think it was just after the union, when we had the merged role of the three congregations, and we were looking to make this into elders districts for delivery, and we had a very tight time scale because the magazines had to be out before the communion, which was the 29th of September. And we sat in this room and we got there, we thought we had got there, and then Alistair posed us one or two little challenges, and I remember that day thinking, I don't know if I can do this. And then Alistair, and when he felt it from me or no, but he just says, I think we should just stop and pray, and the difference that made was unbelievable.